Hi, we're on page 22 now of Guitar Landscapes, and today we're going to be looking at intervals. Intervals, if you remember from early on in the book, we were talking about distances from different notes. As we did the C major scale, we played a C here and then a D here, and that's called a major second. And then C and then E, and that's called a major third. And then C, F, that's a perfect fourth. C to G, that's a perfect fifth. C to A, that's a major sixth. C to B is a major seventh. And then C to C is an octave. Now, those shapes are kind of hard to remember once you get past maybe the major third, because you're having to skip so far up and down the fingerboard. We can learn simpler shapes that are smaller, and that'll help you understand and see those distances a lot quicker, and you'll be able to analyze chords and scales much quicker as well when we dig deeper into the book. So let's start out with a major second interval, which that shape is going to pretty much remain the same. It doesn't matter where I play that on the guitar. If I put my first finger on a note and then play a whole step above that, that distance is a major second. So let's do that starting from G on the 3rd fret. So G to A is a major second, C to D is a major second, F to G is major second, B flat to C is a major second. I'm going to move up 1 fret here and go to the 4th fret, and E flat to F here is a major second, still a whole step, and then A flat to B flat is a major second. So that's pretty easy. Now if we look at a major third distance, we're starting to stretch out a little bit. It's not impossible to reach, but it's a bit of a stretch probably for some of you. Now if I play G here with my second finger and go up to B here, you can see I'm playing a shape on 2 parallel adjacent strings. So G to B and G to B are the same. Now I can play that same shape on the next string going from C to E, and then the same thing on the next string going from F to A, same distance. Now when I get to the 3rd string, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be landing on the B string. Now the B string is tuned differently, and because of that the shape changes. So when I play this note, I'm playing my B flat and I want to go to a D, 2 whole steps. My D is right here. So you can see the shape has changed from this shape to this shape. Now if I go on up to the next string, it actually goes back to where we were. So I'm going to put my second finger on the E flat and I'm going to play G here. So you can see that shape is the same. So here are the shapes again, like that. So those are all major thirds. Now perfect fourths. So from from G right here on the 6th string all the way up to C is a perfect fourth. Now if I go from G to C here, that's a perfect fourth as well, and much easier obviously to play than to try to reach that far. So that's a perfect fourth. Then from C to F is a perfect fourth. From F to B flat is a perfect fourth. And once again the shape changes when we land on the B string, like that, and then finally the shape goes back to where it originally was. Now if I play a perfect fifth, which we sort of recognize as our kind of power chord rock guitar sound, that kind of sound, we go first finger on the 6th string and then 3rd finger on the 5th string, and there's our 5th sound. C to G here, 5th sound. F to C, and now the B string is involved, so we go up 1 additional fret, B flat to F, and then E flat to B flat, and we go back to the original shape. Now 5th shapes, there are additional shapes that we can reach playing 5th shapes. For instance, if I put my little finger on B flat and go up to F here, that's a 5th as well. If I played a D here and went up to A here, that would be a 5th shape as well. And then this, I've got my 3rd finger on G on the 4th string, and then my 1st finger on D on the 2nd string, and then C to G. So you can see those shapes are useful as well. Now let's move on to the major 6. Here's G and here's E. Here's C, here's A, here's F, here's D, here's B flat, and here's G. And you can see these two shapes are both affected by the B string. This one lands on the B string, and here we cross over the B string, so it's affecting the note on the first string as well. Now, we also have major sevenths, which sounds kind of dissonant, excuse me, because it's reaching almost the octave. So it's going to what we call the leading tone, and you can hear that kind of dissonance, that desire to resolve to the octave. And it sounds odd until we hear it in the context of a chord. Like now, that note is in there. I've got G and F sharp, but when you hear it in the context of that G major 7th chord, it actually sounds pretty. So that's G to F sharp, and then C to B, and then F to E, and here's where the B string has affected the shape. We've had to go up an additional fret, and here's B flat to A. And all of those are almost reaching the octave. Here are the octave shapes. So here's G to G, and then here's C to C, F to F, and B flat to B flat. Now there are other octave shapes as well. There's this, that's G, and this is G, right? This is a G note here, and this is a G note here. See how that works? And then we also have C here and C here, right? We could have C here. Now we could also have C here, like this. So there are a few variations of those octave shapes that you might want to learn. Octaves can be played all up and down the fingerboard. I'm playing all F notes right now. And those are good positions for helping you understand how to improvise, how to play your chords. Like these are all F chords, and they're all based on those octave shapes. That. So for each one of those octave shapes, there are chords that lay on top of it. There are also scales that lay on top of those octave shapes. For instance, here's the minor pentatonic scale, and we're going to be digging into these later on in the book. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. We'll get there and you will understand it. And then we have so you can see I'm basically playing out of each one of those octave shapes up the neck, and I'm staying within the key of F. I'm playing F minor pentatonic as I'm doing all of that, and it's based on those octave shapes. So they become very important and really a useful tool in helping you know how the fingerboard works. And you can relate all your other intervals inside those octaves. So I hope this has helped you understand the fingerboard. I know some of this material seems a little dry at this point. That's okay. Hang in there. It gets better and it's easier to understand, and then you'll be able to look at songs and know what you're doing and why you're doing it, which is really important. I remember when I first started playing, I could figure out solos, but I wouldn't know why they were playing what they were playing until I started to understand the fingerboard and understand theory better. Thanks a lot. I'm Wayne Cockfield. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video, because we're going to start looking deeper in the major scale, which is everything is built off of the major scale. Chords and scales and improvising all relate back to the major scale in some way or another. So enjoy your work on the guitar, keep digging in, and I'll see you in the next video.